Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Jacksonville Buzz. I am your host, Adrienne Houghton. Joining me in the studio today is David Truax from Lambgoat. What's that, you say? Let's find out. Good morning, David.
Good morning, Adrienne. How are you doing?
Fine. So, what is Lambgoat?
What is Lambgoat? Lambgoat's like a online news journalistic publication that focuses on heavier underground music. It's been around since the late 90s, early 2000s. Just posts like news, updates, tours, reviews bands, interviews bands. Just covers everything from hardcore to metal in that little niche genre.
That little niche genre. So you say it's been going since 99, but you've been CEO since July.
Correct.
How did that all happen?
Long story short, I've been visiting Lambgoat since about early 2000s. I had my own website at the time, so I would visit that website to also get news on certain bands that I followed, that I liked, that I was posting about. So my relationship started there. A couple years ago, about a handful of years ago, I was on Twitter and I was doing a podcast myself, and I had reached out to Lambgoat because he was, they were talking about something, a podcast in between on Twitter or whatever, and I asked where their podcast was, and they didn't have one. So we started a conversation about maybe me doing the podcast, which I ended up doing. A couple years later, the opportunity came around, and we just took the opportunity to take over. And me and a group of people bought the company, bought the brand, and we've just been trying to expand and grow. So tell me, what do you have planned for Lambgoat? Lambgoat has a pretty good brand awareness, brand reach. It's been around in the industry, especially in that music industry for 20 years. And when I stepped into the role of doing the podcast, we started covering a lot of events, started interviewing bands, meeting them, bringing them to my house down the street here, not that far from here. And we would do the podcast, and I started seeing that, basically everyone I talked to in that little industry knew exactly who Lambgoat was, seeing the potential of it. And then, we just kind of went from there to expand whatever was already built. So a lot of video content, more documentary type coverage and stuff like that, just to kind of fill the space in that area that is pretty empty. So we're trying to step into that role and kind of expand and be that, source of fulfillment for everything outside of just the basic news.
Has it always been called Lambgoat?
Yeah, and that name.
Do you know why?
Yeah, I do.
I
asked Alex, who was the previous owner, many times about it, but it's been around since '99. So they were teenagers when they thought of the name when they started making the website. So it was basically like a bad band name, which was Lambgoat, and it just stuck. But it's probably helped because it's so unique, especially in this little heavy music world.
Sure.
Just stands out. It's not as metal or whatever. So.
What are the biggest challenges that you are facing with the company at the moment?
We have anonymous comments that you're allowed to leave on our website, and that can become a headache. But we're kind of known for that too, in a space where a lot of anonymity is gone off the internet. We still allow that, which is kind of fun, but it also becomes, like I said, a headache. So you do have to monitor that and do that kind of thing, which some bands and some people do get a bad taste in their mouth for that particular feature, I guess you could say.
And where do you see yourself with Lambgoat in the next 5 years? Oh,
hopefully doing it way more full-time, being encompassed by it, just creating content, documenting the scene, the history of it. We have, when we took over, we had 23 years of data and news and just information on this, little niche environment and community. Yeah. So we want to expand on that and just document that more, and for the growing future, and for the people who want to get into that kind of music and they have, a rabbit hole to fall down. But we also want to bridge the gap for people who've been following us for 23 years, because we do have a lot of people that have been, visiting the website for 20 years. So we want to bridge those gaps.
Thank you for coming in and highlighting Lambgoat. It's been a pleasure to feature you.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with the future.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And don't forget, if you'd like to know any more information, you can find it on lambgoat.com and iwannabuzz.com. Thank you for watching.